My name is Dustin Gill. I'm an engineer with TLC Engineering Solutions. I'm part of our structural division, and within that I'm part of the repair and restoration team. We are in the process of preparing repair documents for this garage. So during our structural assessment, we identified areas of damage that are typical for reinforced concrete structures, and we are in the process of preparing repair documents to address the issues that we identified during our condition assessment. Deterioration of concrete is a process. It's not something that just happens. So concrete structures are always in a process of deterioration, and there are different factors that affect the rate of deterioration, primarily the environment. So structures that are in environments with high salt content, like on the coast or where there's de-icing salts used up north, experience deterioration faster than structures that are in climates that are less or more friendly to concrete. So concrete's a very strong material in compression. It's not strong in tension, so it's reinforced with steel bars or rebar, which makes it a very strong material. The problem with rebar and steel is that it corrodes, and as steel corrodes, it expands in volume. So when you embed that steel in concrete, it causes the concrete to crack and spall. So that's the main issue that we see in reinforced concrete structures. And you see it a lot in parking garages because they're exposed to weather. We typically recommend a structural assessment every 10 years for a parking garage structure, a minimum every 10 years. That's just to check the extent of deterioration, to recommend repairs to slow down deterioration of the structure and to make sure everything is safe, and then any other preventative measures that can be taken to prolong the life of the structure. So that can be applying a sealer to the top deck of the garage to prevent water intrusion. There's also spray-on corrosion inhibitors that can slow down the rate of corrosion and prolong the life of the structure. So when we do a structural assessment, we look for the beginning stages of concrete spall, and if those spalls aren't repaired, they'll continue to get worse. So it's like a roof leak. If water's leaking into the roof and you catch it right away and you fix it, it prevents damage to the drywall, to the wood framing, things like that. It's kind of the same thing with concrete structures. So concrete spalls are going to happen. Water is going to penetrate the concrete, but if you fix it and prevent it from getting worse, it can prevent more costly repairs in the future. So part of that is chipping out the damaged concrete, removing the corrosion from the steel, treating it with a corrosion inhibitor, and putting back new concrete. If you don't fix it, what will happen is the steel will continue to corrode. It will eventually have significant section loss where you can't just treat the steel, you have to replace it with new steel, and the repair area will grow. So it's really about repairing it before the problem becomes severe, and that will prolong the life of the structure, make sure the structure is safe for occupants, and in the long run save money, because the repairs will continue to get worse and the cost will continue to increase. So it's important to do restoration projects on parking garages and other reinforced concrete structures periodically to repair the damaged concrete, take protective measures to prevent further deterioration, kind of just bring the structure back up to a good standard, and then unfortunately the process is going to start again where you have more deterioration, and in a certain time period you're going to have to do another restoration project.